Coming up, we're talking all things Universal for this episode of Always Crowded Theme Park News. I just want to give a quick warning. The audio for me didn't want to work all that well. You'll see what I mean in a minute, but I just wanted to warn you all. Enjoy. Hey everyone, and welcome to the newest episode of Always Crowded Theme Park News. Today, we're talking about all things Universal Orlando. And to join me for this, I've got with me Patrick.
Hello everyone. Big fan of Universal. I've gone many times. Always have a great time there. And I'm ready to talk about it.
And Camilla.
Hi everyone. My name is Camilla. Universal is one of my favorite theme parks, so I'm also excited to talk about it as well.
All right, well that's exciting. So let's just jump right into the news while we're talking about Universal, since that's what this episode is. I thought this was going somewhere, but I don't see it going anywhere, so let's just go right into it. Universal Studios Hollywood just recently dropped their use of 3D glasses for the ride Despicable Me Minion Mayhem. This brought a crisper 2D version of the ride. According to rumors online, we could possibly expect the change to happen before the end of the year to the Orlando version of Despicable Me Minion Mayhem in Universal Orlando. Do you guys like the ride Despicable Me Minion Mayhem?
I'm not a huge fan of the Minions in general. The ride is okay, but I'm interested to see where they take it if they are redesigning it. I've only been on it a couple of times. It's a decent ride, but it could definitely be improved.
Yeah. I feel like, I have to agree with Patrick because like the Minions, I'm not the biggest fan of them and whatever, but like the ride itself, like I think it's kind of cool. So if they're going to redesign it already, yeah, I think it's going to like take it to like possibly another level. So I'm actually kind of excited about it.
I don't think they're redesigning it. I think the idea is they're dropping 3D glasses for the ride. So it's just kind of a movie where you move around in your seat.
Well, that's kind of like redesigning, but not
it's
really.
Kind of a redesign, but you're not changing anything about the physical sets itself for the ride. It's basically the screen.
So why are they removing the 3D part of it?
Yeah.
Because it's better. I think it's a crisper version that they're trying to do. I know it's happened to the Ratatouille ride in Disneyland Paris, so most 3D rides are dropping it, which could expect, if this is true, that they're dropping it for rides, that could mean Shrek 4D or 3D. I don't remember which it is because I don't care for that. That could mean that it could close finally and we see something new come to it.
Am I the only one that's kind of tired of the Minions at this point?
Yes, I'm totally tired of them. Like I see them everywhere, and I'm just like excuse me.
Just a cash grab at this point.
We haven't seen the Minions though in a long time on the big screen.
Yeah, but okay, that's a solid point. That's true.
Because the last movie was 2017, almost 2 years ago, that we saw them on the big screen. Because now their Illuminations, who makes the movies, is moving towards other projects like Secret Life of Pets 2.
Yeah.
Good, that's good. I think we've had enough Minions.
I feel like the whole Minion like trend was just so overrated and it was so annoying. Like the songs, like don't even get me started on that. Thank God.
They took a character that was very cute and entertaining in moderation and took it way too far.
Yeah.
Would you guys like to see Despicable Me Minion Mayhem close for something else?
Yeah. I feel like it's a ride for children. And there's I know that Universal like has a lot of like children like going and stuff, but I feel like it should be an equal amount of like rides because I feel like they have more children rides or like children themes like Minions, for example, more in Universal than they have for like everyone else.
If I have a limited time at Universal, I'm not going to go to the Minion ride, just to be honest.
Is it just because it's always long, or is it because it's Minions?
It's a combination of both. If it was a thing I was a really big fan of, I'd be more inclined to wait in line for it.
Yeah.
I think I disagree with you, Camilla, on the part where it's just for kids. Or at least this is the only thing for kids in the park. Because they do have other stuff for adults and kids, because they have the kids zone for kids, and then they have older stuff, or at least more adult-like stuff, like Men in Black, for instance. Maybe kids will get scared of the aliens for some reason, one way or another.
Maybe.
Or Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon. I guess it's
Oh,
more.
I love that one.
I like it too, but
that's one of my favorites.
It's more oriented towards family friendly, maybe. So everybody, instead of, since Universal's trying to attract a more family friendly, but also trying to attract everyone's taste, like Revenge of the Mummy, for instance, maybe is a teen ride, I guess. So in a way, you're kind of attracting everyone by appeasing everyone in every part of the park, I guess.
Yeah, I think they have to try to appeal to all age groups, really. Because you need all age groups to really be profitable, I think.
True. You know, that Mummy ride, oh my god. I would not get on that ride at all until I was like 13 or something. It was
I love
so
the Mummy
scary.
ride.
What are you talking about?
Is it
That
scary?
was so scary. Because like you know that part where like there was like roaches or like bugs in front of you and you would like kind of feel it on your legs, and then the fire and then like the skeletons. That was really like very scary moment for me, and I got like scarred. But nowadays if I go on there, I'm not that scared anymore.
I go on the Mummy ride at least 3 times every time I go to Universal. If the line's not too long, because usually I go when the line's only like 15 minutes long, and so it's great. But yeah, I really like that one.
I mean, I like it, but I wouldn't ride it 3 times. I'd save it for other rides.
Well, the line tends to be short when I go in the morning, so that's why I just take advantage.
Okay, I see your point there with going straight in the morning. All right, so let's move on to the next one. Universal Orlando announced the upcoming dates for the 2019 holiday season. The holiday season will run from November 16th to January 15th. This includes the return of Universal's Holiday Parade, Grinchmas, Christmas at the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, and performances by Mannheim Steamroller. Did you guys ever experience all those?
What is Mannheim Steamroller?
Yeah, I was going to say.
They're like a band.
Do I know any of their songs?
I mean, you might.
Maybe like we know them, but we just don't know their names until we look them
they're
up.
like a Christmas band. Okay, I got it.
Yeah.
They do music. Okay, I got it.
Yeah, so you'll probably recognize them once you hear the music of them. But
That's
okay, I see them.
When you hear it's Mannheim Steamroller, it's like, I guess I've heard of them. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like when you have your holiday season run for 2 whole months, that kind of takes away from it a little bit. Although I could be wrong.
I kind of find it weird that Universal is running it to January 15th, because that's really a long time, especially because Disney is running it November 8th to December 22nd.
That's more reasonable. But if you go all the way to January 15th, like that's almost like in the middle of January.
Yeah,
like that's like unnecessary.
I'm done with Christmas at that point.
I hate to say it, but they kind of sound desperate for people to come to their park by saying, let's just extend it to everybody at all. They can experience it for a really long time past Christmas if they want.
Jesus.
Right, I think that's what I was saying. It kind of takes away from it, in my opinion.
Did you guys ever watch the holiday parade that they have?
No, is it any good? I don't think I've ever seen it, actually.
I think I've seen it once, but I was like kind of young, and I thought it was a really like interesting experience, especially from like if you're a child, because you kind of see everything kind of like come to life, and it's a nice experience.
They bring in Macy's Christmas Day balloons for it.
Oh my god.
Which that's pretty nice.
Oh, like the big ones? That's cool.
Yeah. Did you guys ever see Grinchmas?
I have not, actually. What is that about?
It's just the telling of the Grinch's story.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, just like it sounds. I guess you could say all the Who's and Grinch take over all of Seuss Landing and turn it into like a Christmas townish area where they walk around and stuff. You can meet the Grinch. And
honestly, out of like the Christmas movies and stuff like that, I'm not really a big fan of like the Grinch. Like, I mean, it's like a whatever story for me.
I feel like the thing about Universal at Christmas time is those events sound interesting, but if that's going to cause the crowds to be too long, that might actually turn me away from Universal at that time.
Yeah, like I don't want to like go and experience something so great and then to have so many people crowded around me, it just kind of
Right.
ruins
Yeah,
the whole thing.
I agree.
But it's not like you can have a private thing of the Grinchmas or Mannheim Steamroller all to yourself.
I mean, if it's like obviously if you go to a theme park, there's going to be people around you, whatever. But I'm talking about if there's like a big amount of people like around you, then it kind of gets uncomfortable in a
Like
way.
the name of our podcast, Always Crowded.
Exactly right.
Ha!
But like times
I see what
3,
you did
you know.
there.
I hate
So
that
it's
pun.
super always crowded.
Stop it.
All right, so let's move on to our third news topic for the week. Universal Orlando has revealed in a teaser what the new Hagrid animatronic will look like for the upcoming attraction due at Islands of Adventure June 13th, Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure. Hagrid will stand 7 feet tall, 6 inches, with custom dialogue from actor Robbie Coltrane, hope I said that right, who plays Hagrid in the movies. Are you guys looking forward to this ride?
Honestly, okay. I've always liked the Harry Potter rides. Like they just like they're so good. Like they're just perfect, especially the animatronics. Like they look like perfect. They look like humans and they look like wizards. I don't know. They look amazing, right? And so right now, I'm looking at the actual animatronic for Hagrid, and it's scary because it looks exactly like him.
Yeah, I agree. I think Harry Potter is always one of my favorite rides to do there. I think one time even my aunt and my grandma came, and even they really loved that ride. So if the Hagrid ride is anything like that, then I will definitely go to it. I mean, that sounds really fun.
Exactly.
Are you guys happy that Dueling Dragons is gone, or do you miss it?
No, I'm so sad that they took that off, like away because I went to Universal so much when I was younger, and that was like one of those like OG rides that I went on a lot. And so them taking that away is like taking away a part of my quote unquote childhood. So I'm just like, no.
Yeah. So I just looked up a picture of the Hagrid animatronic, and he looks kind of scary. He doesn't look too much like actual Hagrid, to be honest.
There's a lot of hair going on, and I'm like,
Yeah. They need to fix his face a little bit.
What do you
His
mean?
face-
He looks just like him.
I don't know about that.
I mean, he looks like he has a couple pounds on, but that's whatever.
He looks more like those what are those things that they have in the bank at the other Harry Potter
The
ride?
goblins?
Yeah, he looks like one of the goblins. Like, look at his face.
I don't think that's the name of the creatures in the bank, but I mean, they kind of look like goblins.
Yeah.
But I'm saying if you look at the animatronic face close up, he kind of almost looks like one of those. I think they need to change that a little bit.
I think maybe it might look like that is because I think they try to make the animatronic look as real as possible, and maybe they made it like put too much details on it because now that I'm looking at like an actual picture of it close up, there's a lot of like I think the work that they put onto the animatronic is insane, but I feel like they're putting it too much, and now I'm like kind of scared.
Yeah, I have no doubt that it's a hard job to do. That would definitely be hard to create.
Do you think you guys would prefer this ride over Dueling Dragons, or
Well,
I
I'd have
haven't
to
been
see
on
how
the
it comes
Hagrid
out.
one.
no? But I mean, just looking at it from aerial photos and the teasers that Universal has dropped about them.
Oh no, I'd rather go on the dragon one more because
So what is the
it's not
Hagrid ride
crazy.
going to be like exactly? Like, what is it going to entail?
So it's like you're going through the Forbidden Forest, and you're going along with Hagrid, and you're riding in his motorbike.
That sounds fun because one of my favorite rides at Universal is the ET ride where you go through the forest kind of thing. And I just like the idea of kind of traveling through the woods in general. It's just kind of it's kind of a fun idea, I think. I think it's going to be good.
I'm more of a roller coaster type of gal, right? So this obviously the dragon ride kind of like I said